record on this computer. All right, we are recording, so nobody say anything that you don't want to regret later. So, all right. Yeah, with that, make sure ask questions. If you don't ask questions, there's not going to be a whole lot to talk about. Now, I always do like to talk a little bit about something in the beginning. So what I figured is I would go ahead and talk about Civil 3D 2025. So I went ahead and downloaded that this morning, and I got it up and running, and I figured we'd go ahead and talk about that. Thanks, Brian. Brian messaged me this morning. He's like, you gonna talk about 2025? And I'm like, wasn't planning on it. He's like, it's been out for 17 hours. Come on. So I went ahead, downloaded it, and I thought what we would do is take a look at the what's new features.
I think it was only 12 hours when I messaged you this morning. So,
Oh, okay. Something like that. It just came out yesterday, April Fool's Day. Great day, Autodesk, but it's here. So I thought what I could do is I kind of went through the new release things, and I've got some drawings open here in 2025. I thought maybe I could open up the same drawings in 2024 and compare performance, because that seems to be what the difference is. So let's go into so I'm just here in the what's new in 2025. And as you can see, a lot of this is dealing with just performance. It doesn't seem to be any new features. It's all geared towards performance, at least as best as I can see. Perhaps somebody else has seen something else, but for example, here, what's new in Surface? Performance improvements during multi-threaded contour generation, when you open the drawings, doing surface edits, changing surface style, creating surface creation, and contour extraction from the surface. So I've got a drawing here that has a surface that has contours in it. It's not a massive surface, but it's here. Like I said, I just downloaded this morning, so I don't have, I didn't get a chance to find a really big surface to try this on. But then I also have 24 open. So let me go ahead and open up that same drawing here in 2024. And let's see what we can do. All right.
I mean, technically, to make sure you get the same performance, you'd have to reboot your machine, make sure you had all the same things open. But I think this will get it to us.
Right. So like I said, I haven't tried this yet. This is my first attempt at this. So let's see what this does. So according to this, there's improvements when doing a surface edit. When drawing contains surface styles using contours display components. So let's do a surface edit. So let's see, I'm going to edit this style. You should not do this. You should work with a different style, but this is just what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on the triangles here. And we'll do the same thing in 2025, or that was 25. We'll do the same thing in 2024 here. Edit the surface style, and we will turn on the triangles. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip a face here. Or swap an edge, sorry, that's Land Desktop Talk. And you can see it goes pretty good. I mean, there's a slight delay. Let's see if it works any different in 2025. I'll swap that same edge. It seems to be faster.
Felt a little bit faster to me too.
Yeah, it definitely seems faster. Go back to 2024, and this isn't a massive surface. Oh yeah, it's definitely faster. I don't know if it's coming through on the through the interface, but yeah, I'm not. And again, this is a small surface. This isn't a massive surface. So, but in 2024, I'm seeing, this little bar come down, pop up down here where it says, calculating contours and whatnot. But in 25, again, down here, it's almost instantaneous. Oh yeah, that's definitely faster.
Yeah, it looks faster on our end.
Okay. So yeah, so that's cool. So contour generation seems to be a go. So that's awesome. General performance when working with surface improves zoom and pan performance when the level of detail mode is off. in conceptual GSF mode. I have no idea what GSF means. Okay, so this is one that I've complained about a lot. If you change a property of the surface, then the surface still regenerates. So let's try that one.
Adam said that's great. Now users can edit surfaces the wrong way even faster.
Right? Oh, I'm not a big fan of surface edits. Don't do them. This was just a test to see what if it worked. Okay, so let's see. So if I come in here, I go into the surface properties and I change the name of this. That was pretty fast. I didn't notice any difference there. And let's try the same thing in 2025. That seemed about the same, but again, this isn't a massive surface. So what if I change the style so we get more contours? Oh, this wasn't the contour performance. That was the other one. Yeah, that's what I should have done with the edits. So let's see. Contours, intervals. We'll make this a 0.1 interval for the contours. There we go. We should really see a difference now.
Oh yeah, that's a huge difference.
All right, so now when I do my edit, swap the edge. All right, so yeah, there's definitely a little bit more there. And then in 2025, swap an edge, and it's virtually instantaneous. So yeah, definitely improvement there. There's some level of detail options here. I don't have a super intense surface to really test these out on, but it looks like there's some new commands. All surface LOD low, all surface. So it looks like they have different levels of the level of detail. They have a low level of detail and a high level of detail. And it looks like you might be able to do them per surface. So let's try this. I'm gonna try the surface LOD low. Select the surface. And we'll do surface LOD high. Not sure what that did. It doesn't look like it's doing any sort of LOD at maybe there at the extremes. Might be. Oops. But it looks like you can toggle it on and off per surface, which is great. So I just want this one surface to have the level of detail, but not all of them. I like that. I can handle that. But then there's also surface LOD low instead. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. All surface. All surface LOD high. Okay. So you can toggle it on and off per surface. I wonder if there's something in the surface properties that this should be available in the surface property, in my opinion.
Yeah, you would think that'd be changing a property, not just a command.
Yeah. This might be
Or
something that they snuck in at the end and didn't get a chance to update the UI.
the question becomes actually changing the detail of the surface or just the visual output of the surface.
Something on the ribbon, perhaps? Because here it says contextual commands to change the surface level of detail added to prospector tree in Canvas and the ribbon. So I'm not seeing anything on the ribbon. Anybody have any? Yes, on the ribbon to the right of modify. Level of detail right there. Perfect. Cool. Nice. Okay.
Added a whole new panel for it.
Yeah, it was just a whole new panel. It was staring me right in the face, and I didn't see it. And then I also said surface level of detail. Toggle it on and off per surface. Okay. Interesting. That might take some playing around with.
I have a feeling that's going to be one of the first support issues you get. Why are
Right?
some of my services displaying different than my other ones?
Totally. Yeah, Tommy, I noticed that as well. There's no little visual icon here to show you that the LOD is set. But I think it's because it's now per surface rather than per drawing. Ooh, that's a good
John was asking.
question, John.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So if the level of detail is turned on, you can see the little icon is now blue. Okay. Okay, I like that. That's cool. All right, so that's cool. I like that. Where'd my help go? I click. I shut down the help. Oh, by the way, if you want to find out where the new features are, if you can just in CAD, or rather in Civil 3D 2025, hit F1, and then there's the new features. So that's always going through. Information about MMS files, performance improvements when saving surface MMS files. The MMS file will not update if there is no surface geometry change. So that's good. The DREF surface will not update when the host drawing is saved. So that should help us if you're dealing with those super large files, which we have a tendency to do here at GEI. I ended up helping somebody with a surface that was 48 million points. So that's my personal record on that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I always tell people it's like 900,000 is really the max you should ever have per surface. I see no reason to go any higher than that. Come on, we're building with bulldozers. Do we really need to know that this flat plane has a point what the elevation of this flat field is every centimeter? No, we don't. Okay, so that was cool. So let's see, back to the new features. There's some new stuff for corridors. And again, this is, mostly enhancements. So improved efficiency of opening the corridor properties dialog box. All right, let's see what this does. I'm gonna send that to the back. And I've got a corridor here. So this is 25. Let's try it first in 24. All right, so if I grab my corridor, that's not my corridor. Grab the corridor and bring it to the front. There we go. So I grab my corridor and I go into the corridor properties, and it's open. Okay, so it was quick, but not super instantaneous. Try it here in 25. Corridor properties, maybe a little bit faster.
Oh no, it was definitely faster. I was counting when you clicked the button.
Were you? Okay, let's try it again in 24. Okay, yep, definitely faster.
Tom had a follow-up question on that LOD. How will you know if a surface has LOD applied to it if it's XREF into a drawing versus a DREF?
Ooh, that's a good question. Does the LOD come through with via an XREF? Let's find out.
I figured that'd be your answer.
Come on. Thank you.
And David Clark said if you're modeling an inchworm racetrack, those extra points and that variation of that flat plane could matter.
It was an inchworm racetrack. That's awesome. Okay, right now the level of detail is set to high. Currently I have something drawn out in the middle of nowhere. What is it?
Welcome to the life of an architect when linking in a civil file. Where is it? Where is it?
What the heck is this thing? I see the dot. Doesn't seem to be getting any bigger though, does it? That failed. Zoom object last. Why is this not working? So I copy this circle. And here I paste it in to the original coordinates. I zoom object, last object. And my UCS freaks out on me. That's really weird.
That's a new version. That's a new feature in 25.
Interesting. Congrats, you found the first 2025 glitch. Love it, Mac. What the heck did I do to this? So this drawing is like super old. It's either up here or it's down there. I have no idea what the heck is going on here. That was worth a try. My coordinates aren't even turned on. Let me turn those on real quick. Maybe this will help us figure it out. So 58 by 76. $76,000 or 7,600? In. This is just stupid. Look at those coordinate values. Times 10 to the 19th. How come okay, so this is interesting. And let's try this in 24. So when I zoom out, there's something at 0. Okay, so if I draw a line from 0, 0 to there, okay. This is 24. I wonder if I can paste from 25 4 into 25. I don't see that line drawn anywhere. Okay, that drawing is whack. All right, let me try something else here. I've got that as a data reference. Let me just do that. Here, let me just create a new drawing. Drawing for set working folder. That will go to C temp. I think that's where it goes. That data shortcut project folder. Great reference. This is embarrassing. Robert, I don't think it was Autodesk that broke it. I think it was that drawing that was busted. Um, it was there was something drawn off in the middle of nowhere. But this might be Autodesk breaking something. Cool. First fatal error.
It only took you 25 minutes to fatal error as a new 25 AutoCAD or Civil 3D, excuse me.
Setting data shortcut folder. All right.
Somebody
So
said that's a new error window, though. They did say that wasn't the typical fatal error window.
all right, let's try this again because I'm really curious about the whole level of detail through an XREF. I've never even considered that. I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't XREF a surface that needs a level of detail, but I'm curious to see what happens here. All right, so we'll just create a new drawing.
Oh yeah, so who is it? Jason said out there that there is already an update for Civil 3D 2025, and he's correct. I went and looked at my manage.autodesk.com. There is a 25.0.1 update already.
25.0.1. Yeah. So if you just so all I did was went to the manage and I downloaded it and then I installed it and it came with the update. So that was quick though. All right, let's try this again. Finish ground, create the reference.
I remember back in the good old days, there was a version of Revit when actually shipped to you. I think it was CDs still back then. That this before you got the CD delivered to you, there was already an update released.
Okay, so here's a surface. We want to
LOD that. Yep.
all right, and then let's edit the style. Oh, they moved it. Edit surface styles way down here now. That's so weird. Contours, contour interval, right one, okay. We got LOD on, save as to LOD test. And then we will XREF that in. Let's see if it crashes this time.
And then just as a note, you guys probably all knew this, but as a reminder that the grading optimization for Civil 3D 2025 is also a product update. So it is a separate download.
All right, there we go. So there's the XREF. LOD does not seem to happen here. So let's see, in this little flat area, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's the 4 pink contours. I have no idea where this LOD is coming from. Ah, it behaves when you do a regen. So now if I come in here and I turn the LOD off, So that's what it is. So whatever zoom level you're at when you regen, that's gonna be how the LOD through the XREF is handled. So that was a great question. I like that one.
Then you had two questions on this. Is 2025 backwards compatible with everything in 2018? I think everybody's asking, is it still the same DWG format?
It's still the same DWG format for sure. Is it backwards compatible with Civil 3D? I believe it is, but let's find out. So I have this LOD test, so let's go see if we can open that up in 2024 and see if we get any messages. I'm willing to bet it is backwards compatible. It sounds like the only thing they've done is performance improvement. So that's just me already having it open. So yeah, it looks like it's backwards compatible. And like I said, looking at those new features, the only thing I saw was, performance improvements. So let's see what else we got. So there was some corridor stuff as well. Again, improved efficiency in opening the corridor properties dialog box, clicking OK, switching properties out of tabs. Let me open up that drawing that had the corridor in it. The one that was just horrible. Don't zoom extents in this drawing, Brian. Don't zoom extents. All right, so I got this corridor in here. Oops. And then in 2024, I've got the same drawing here. Of course, I have the help file again. All right, so improved efficiency of opening the corridor property dialog box. So let's go into 2024. I selected the corridor properties, and there it is. So not too bad. What, a second, maybe. I'll switch over to 25, do the same thing. Corridor properties, maybe slightly faster. I don't know. This is a pretty decent corridor. Lots of regions, lots of baselines. Didn't notice that big of a difference. Says imperfect when clicking OK to close the box, when switching corridor properties dialog box tabs. So here in 25, that's going really quick. I'm not seeing any delay. Try 24. There was a slight delay when I went to the surfaces for the first time that I don't remember seeing in 25. Yeah. So that'll save you no time at all. I suppose if you're working in a massive corridor, it might be, you might see it, but then here's something that I found interesting. It says improved efficiency when opening a child corridor properties dialog box for large corridors. I have no idea what a child corridor is. Is that something I've missed in the last few updates? Does anybody know what a child corridor is? Nobody? Okay, so it's not just me. Maybe this is something they're planning for that was gonna be in 25, but didn't make it into 25.
So you'll see that in 25.1.
Perhaps. I don't know. So, some
It's in the right
corridor.
click menu. Tom says it's in the right click menu of a corridor. He's guessing. Is it in the right click menu of a corridor? Sorry, Tom, I missed the question mark.
I'm not seeing anything. Something in Project Explorer, perhaps? I'm not seeing anything interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is then. I'm glad it's not just me then. Okay, so we got some improvements in region grip editing and drawing. So let's try that. So here's 25. Let's first try this in 24.
So according to the Autodesk help, if an assembly has offsets defined, the offsets are displayed as the children of the region.
Ah, okay.
I will post the help that I found. None of this means anything to me apparently, but I will post it in the chat.
Okay. So um, if when you go create an assembly, you can add an assembly offset. That's probably what it's referring to, is the assembly offset here. Let's see what Brian's link says. Note if the assembly has offsets defined, the offsets are displayed as children's of the region. Okay, so yeah, that might be what it is then. Okay, cool. Learn something new every day if you're not careful. All right, but let's try this editing. So I'm gonna grab this region. I'm gonna pull it back to about the center of this circle. So in 24, I'm getting a bit of a lag as I'm moving my cursor around. Very jumpy, and this is one thing that I don't know if it's my system, but I move it back. And let's move this out of the way so we can actually get a decent time on this. It didn't even move. Did that have snaps on? All right, snaps on. I'm having a hard time even figuring out where my cursor is. Okay, so about there, I click. And that region did not get pulled back. Interesting. I'm just having a wonderful time today. There it goes. So it took a little bit. Let's go over to 25, see if we get anything different here. So when I grab that grip, I'm still getting the jumpiness. So that's not a new feature. I got snaps on. Got to turn off the snaps. Let's start over. Turn the snaps off because they're evil and I hate them. All right, I click in 3, 2, 1, click. Quarter is not set to rebuild automatic. So that might be part of it. 3, 2, click. I don't know. Either I'm not seeing much of improvement or I'm looking where I shouldn't be looking. It does talk about splitting a region. So let's see what happens when we split this region. So go to modify region, split region. I'll split this one up here about there. So that was fairly quick. Try it in 24, same spot. Modify region, split region. About the same. I'm not seeing much of an improvement. So, all right. But yeah, so those are some of the things I found. Looks like it's primarily performance issues, performance updates. I don't know why we need a brand new year with a brand new search folders and support file paths for performance improvements. This is one thing I would love to see from Autodesk is Civil 3D has been the same version since what, 2019? We should still be in Civil 3D 2019, but just with updates. That way I can keep all of my paths the same. I don't have to go through and push out new installs. I don't have to, change my profiles and update all of that garbage. It's just an update. Let me install an update on my current system and just run with it. But that's just me bitching about it.
Mike said, "Are you sure you downloaded 2025?" Because it all looks the same.
It says 25. It says 25.
Yes. And then Kyle followed up, "Yeah, it's the cosmetic performance improvements." Well,
It-
you couldn't still be in 2019 because the Autodesk logo has changed twice since then. So
right? There are some things in Dynamo that I haven't looked at. So there's some new in Dynamo for Civil 3D. A package manager, search for nodes by category, a more readable watch node text. That'll be nice. I have no idea what a gate or remember node is. I'm not super versed in Dynamo, but here's some of the things that are available in Dynamo. Right? And let's see, there's some API enhancements. So it's using .NET 8.0.
yeah, that was actually a big one on the Revit side of things too, because a
Was
lot
it?
of people the add-ins and the extra things. If you had been doing any programming in .NET 6 was what they were on, they never did 7 in Revit at least. That was breaking a lot of people's add-ins.
Okay.
So if you develop add-ins internally, that's not a Lisp routine that's actually going through some of the .NET program, it might be something you have to go through and look at.
Okay. And it looks like they've added some level of detail stuff to the API as well.
The same, it's like the same Christmas shirt, but with more reliable buttons.
Gotcha. There's the .NET 8 support and then the miscellaneous support. I think this is just basically like the AutoCAD stuff. iSafe percent is now defaulting to 50. I don't know what our iSafe percent is set to. We have it set to 0. So if you're not familiar with iSafe percent, basically it saves incremental changes rather than a brand new version of the drawing. So a value of 0 means that all save operations are full saves. A value of 100 increases the space available to append changes. Right. So I don't know. We always have our set to 0. This is nice because here in 2024, the initial value is set to 50. Right. And if we go to the 2025 help, right, what you'll see is the system variable iSafe percent now defaults to 50. Wait. The default initial value is 50 in 24, and in 25 it defaults to 50. I guess the
Sweet.
initial value is different than the default value.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm being picky here now.
All right, so now we got a couple questions here. One was
Okay.
a follow-up to LOD. And it looks like Kyle just put a response in the chat, but LOD changed what it looked like when plotted. And then
LOD when plotted. That's
Kyle just typed in a follow-up saying LOD is not supposed to show up on plots, full res for plots, period.
all right. So let's see. Edit surface style. All right. So here we got it's LOD'd out. All right, zoom in, zoom out, contours change. So if I plot this, we'll use the DWG to PDF. Preview that. Yeah, all the contours plot, even if the LOD is set to low. So yeah, that makes sense because LOD is really just there to help performance as you're zooming in and zooming out.
And then
So that's
Robert
nice.
has two questions about when you close Civil 3D and reopen it. Does 2025 fix the command line window issue of not staying on a second monitor between sessions?
Two reasons I'm going to answer I have no idea. One, I never moved my command line to another monitor. And two, I've been in, as much about 2025 as I do at this point.
And then same similar thing, does the XREF manager remember the tree view list view status between sessions?
So you're referring to this button up here, right? So that's the tree view list where you can see what it is. I doubt it. I've not heard anything that's been changed on that. I'm constantly changing this to the tree view list. I prefer it myself, but I haven't heard anything. So I don't know for certain, but I would be doubtful that they made any changes to that. But that's core AutoCAD stuff. So you would need to check the AutoCAD help to see what's new there for that, but I doubt it. But I could be wrong. I love finding out that I'm wrong because then I can stop being wrong.
And then you actually had a Civil 3D question come up
Woohoo!
from Sean.
Okay.
Could you use site plans showing multiple vehicles running at the same time with different sizes? We are looking to see conflicts in traffic movements. I will be happy with 2 different vehicles.
So are you, Sean, are you looking for like a flow simulation or a path analysis? You can just type it in the chat or the question Q&A, it doesn't matter. Path, okay. So yeah, you can do that. I'm gonna switch back to 24 because I'm more familiar with where my commands are. All right, so I can do a vehicle tracking up here and we'll just do a drive. I'm gonna do this real quick. All right, throw something in here. All right, so there's one vehicle and then I can drive another one. Say this one's gonna be coming through this way. Something like that. And then in the animate, so it's been a really long time since I've done, I can animate this. All right, and we can go ahead and hit play and we can watch the vehicles go through here. Let's speed this up a bit. Where's the speed up button? Is that it? Fast forward, there we go. Right, and so you can watch the vehicles come through here and see if they collide, see how they manage through it. And if you go to advanced, you can actually time this differently. And it's like I said, it's been a really long time since I've done this. So if I double click on one of these, you can change the intermediate delays. So you can create a new delay at distance, I don't know, 200 and delay it for, I don't know, 5 seconds. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what this does. We'll try that. All right, and then we will play this again. All right, and then you can see that one stopped. I don't know if you saw that or not. Let's see. All right, so I actually stopped it right there in the middle of the intersection. Let's pause this, not play this anymore, right? So you can see it's paused right there while the other one is continuing to move. So perhaps something along those lines is what you're looking for. All right, so you can say, hey, this truck vehicle is going to come up, it's going to stop, let the other one pass through, and then this one will continue on. Does that kind of get you what you're looking for, Sean? Perfect.
Cool. And then the last question you have is Autodesk AI help included? If so, will it help new users or is it just a glorified help search?
I have no idea. Do you know anything about the help AI?
I don't. Every time I've been looking at it, it's just kind of a glorified search, and it's better than the usual Autodesk search. But
I don't. Where do you access it? Is it just in the help?
it's a search at least in 2024. Yeah, and Jason said
This
it's
is
a glorified
2024.
help search as well. Yeah.
Here's 25. Is it part of the help or is it like a website or?
Jason and Kyle are putting it up there. Zero utility using the Autodesk guy. I decided to rename AI from artificial intelligence to algorithm iterations because everybody keeps saying it's AI and all it is doing is running a different iteration of an algorithm. So
Help doesn't show anything for artificial intelligence. A new button somewhere. Let's go to.
icon in the top right near the X window. There you
There we
go.
go. Let's check this out. This is exciting. Hi, Brian. Ask your question below. Do my best to suggest options. You can say alignment labels disappear. All right. How do I model an intersection that has a cross pan? Commands for panning and zooming the view. That's useless. Apparently, Autodesk AI has no idea what a cross pan is.
No, because that's not something that the marketing department needed or the
Right?
board of directors needed. So come on.
All right, let's do something a little bit better. Model a roundabout with 3 branches, 3 legs. Is this just a search? It's just taking me to the help.
Yeah, it's just a
Just a
support
support
search.
search.
And
Okay.
originally, Jason said there's only a couple things. The sources for it include documentation, support, troubleshooting, a little bit from the forums, and the learning content.
Go to go to Chat GPT. This is I found Chat GPT to be fairly helpful. I don't care. Birthday is required. 1972. I'm old.
At least you can type it in. I feel as I get older, that scroll down to select the year
I
gets
know it's
longer and
horrid, isn't it?
longer.
Let's
It used to
see.
be a
Model
single scroll.
and
Now it's a quadruple scroll. God, I'm old.
intersection in Civil 3D with a cross pan. At least this is somewhat helpful.
You hope.
Yeah. There we go. Let's see. Add crossband. Once the intersection is designed, you can add the crossband. This is typically done by creating additional assembly or modifying existing. Okay. Better than what I was getting from the Autodesk AI, that's for sure. So. And
Cool. So
ChatGPT is just fun. You can have some fun with it.
So you have another real question with the 8 minutes
Okay.
you have left. I have an issue where the data shortcut of a storm drain network into another file, and it seems like the structure and pipe data do not come with it, such as HGL, velocity, and flow. Our labels are rely on this information. Is there anything or something I am missing?
Not sure. Let's give this a try. I think I've got a pipe network in here. So if I create a reference here, why is this taking so long? Ah, look, there's number 2. This is lovely. I always send in reports. I don't necessarily always put in a description of what's going on, but I always at least send them in. My philosophy is if Autodesk doesn't know something is causing it to crash, they don't know to fix it. You're right, David.
Yeah,
This
and
is why no .1 version ever goes to production.
hey, you already have a service pack. See, now the nice part is when people say, I don't want to upgrade, I'm waiting for the first service pack, it's already out. Right? That year in 2019, where literally they came with it before, whatever version it was, they came out before. People saying, like, cool, that came out the first week. What's your next excuse? Why aren't you up on 25?
All right, let's try this again. All right, so there we go. Okay, so let's see. So we're talking about open the source drawing here. So what was some of this? HDL, that we can do. Come on. All right. That was this pipe here. Went to the pipe properties, part properties of the pipe properties of what elevation do we have here? 50. We'll set these to starting and 5163 sounds like a good HDL here for this. 5163 for that up and 5163 for the down. Go ahead and save this. Synchronize. Pipe properties. So the HDL is coming through. So I don't know why you're not seeing it on your side, but it definitely is coming through, at least in 2025. What are the properties you say? Velocity. Is that an option?
HDL, velocity, and flow. Also said the structure.
Velocity might be a custom property that you guys are using. Not seeing anything in here for velocity. There's the flow rate.
Adam said velocity is not a default property.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Let's put a flow rate in here. We'll go 5 cubic feet per second.
You actually type in save, you don't just do Control S.
Just do a QS enter, QS space.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to move my hand. Yeah. That way I don't have to move my pinky all the way down to a control.
Just curious.
Type properties. 0 cubic feet per second. Did I not synchronize this? I did synchronize it, right? I got distracted by the whole saving thing.
My bad. I'll just shut up. The flow rate is not coming through. Interesting. Flow rate is 5 cubic feet per second. Save that. Synchronize one more time just to double check. Right, properties. Flow rate is not being data reference coming through with the data reference. Interesting. I don't know why, but that seems like it should. So, George, I don't know what to say. It's not something that's coming through with a data reference. So not a setting that George was missing.
No,
It's
I
weird that
think it's just, I think it's a limitation of the software, my friend.
Adam says, what if you remove it and re-deref it?
Good call. Let's try that. I'm just gonna do it in a brand new blank drawing here. See if this will crash it. Does come in if you create a new data reference. It's just not being synchronized. Fascinating. All right, learn something new. So yeah, George, I don't think it's something that you're necessarily doing wrong. Again, this is 2025. I haven't tried it in 2024. I imagine it's probably the same in 2024. since 25 had nothing new for pipes, it sounds like. But
Owen suggests try going to the Manage tab and relink the data shortcut.
I'm
You'd
trying
have to
that.
make a, so you have to go back to the original one, yeah.
Yep. Can you relink it? Pipe networks, storm, link, okay. Yeah, that did it. That was,
So there you go, George.
that was awesome, Owen. You shouldn't have to do that. But that seems to be a possible workaround there for you, George.
George is like, oh, sweet. Yay.
Yeah, give that a try. It's a little manual, but it's not as manual as unlinking and then relinking. All your
We're at
labels
the,
and everything should stay the same. So
we are at the bottom of the hour. One last question is, will you be updating in 2025? I think question more is, when do you think you'll be updating to 25? Because you can't ever say, no, I'm not updating. That's just not feasible.
right. I don't know. Right now I'm on a big push to try to get our standards to work with metric projects. So that's taking up a lot of my time. So it'll definitely be after the first major update, most likely. But I've got it. I'm going to play around with it. I'm not seeing anything super compelling. That's just like, oh, I got to have this in 25.
The only thing I could imagine for you in those ginormous corridors and surfaces you might be dealing with, if the
Right.
performance is that big of a deal. On your
Exactly.
40 million point surface, might be a big deal to be doing that in 25.
Right. Exactly. So,
And
yeah,
then Owen said, do you have any issues when plotting to a PDF if you have transparencies turned on? It takes forever to plot.
um, not that I'm aware of. Um, I haven't had any of my users complain about it. I haven't heard of anything. Um,
Oh, and the only thing I always tell people whenever I hear anybody saying, hey, you're printing a PDF, is I always tell people to go download the free PDF printer called Qt PDF. It's a very low data, very low information PDF. So a lot of times I found when people have issues printing something, it's usually like a Bluebeam or an Adobe PDF printer issue. It's like, wow, I can print it a Qt PDF just fine, or it goes really, really quick. But when I try doing it to Adobe or Bluebeam, it takes forever. Because sometimes it's the data that those programs are trying to add to make your life nicer when you're actually viewing it in their programs.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so the first thing to do is just try to do a different PDF plotter. So if you're using the Autodesk DWG to PDF, try a different one. If you're using a different one, try the AutoCAD DWG to PDF. And then
Oh
see if
yeah,
it
Qt
continues.
PDF
That'll help you.
is definitely missing data that Bluebeam or something else would give you. But it's my go-to to realize, is it an issue with my drawing or an issue with my PDF?
Right. So you use it as a troubleshooting step.
Yes, I don't ever use print to it, but hey, sometimes like, cool, I can print the Qt PDF just fine, so I know it's my drawing that's not corrupt. It's
Right.
something about whatever PDF printer I'm using to try to go through and get it out to.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. I really appreciated this. I will be posting this up on my YouTube channel here the next day or so. We'll be back again next month. If anybody's going to go see the eclipse this next week, check out the YouTube channel Smarter Every Day. They have a fantastic video on what to look out for the eclipse. I got to see the one in 2017, and I'm going to be driving 2 days to go see this one, and hopefully the weather will be good. I hope. But it's worth the shot. If you haven't seen the total eclipse, make a point to go see it. So there you go. And we will be talking to you all again next month. Take care. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.